Recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume we have up first is a full stack software engineer. I want to let everybody know I do more than tech, but right now the tech market is on fire, and not in a good way. It is cooked. So most of the resumes that are sent to me are tech, but I do non-tech resumes as well. So what do we need for a full stack software engineer? We need degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Not over there, not over here. TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. If you do not have TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS in the first bullet point, you are probably going to get rejected. But Lee, everybody, does not matter that everybody has it. It matters that you have it. Almost every single job description on the market is going to say TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. And if every single job description is asking for TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, then you better put it in your resume or else you are hurting your chances. So TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, RESTful API or REST APIs, SQL, any cloud, AWS, GCP, Azure. A backend, so Python, C#, .NET, and Java, React, React.js, Angular, Node.js, Vue.js, DevOps, CI/CD, Agile, Git, and extra credit for large-scale AI tools and cross-functional. So that is what we need, and I need 75% of those in qualification format, not keyword format, which, again, I will go over in a little bit later. This person has gotten practically no interviews. Their ratio, which is how you can tell how good your resume is 150 plus to 1. That means it takes them over 150 applications to get a single interview, which means this is a terrible and garbage resume. Your goal should be a minimum of 50 applications to one interview. And when people use my methods, they end up getting a 7 to 1 application. So that's for every 7 applications, they get one interview using my methods. So 20 seconds on the clock. That's all the time recruiters have. Let's see if I can find what I need. I can't because it's a garbage resume, but let's find out. And go. All right, this doesn't count. You already have a bachelor's. I don't need your that. You already have a master's. Don't need bachelor's. Developed a hot dog, semantic in hot dog, using hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog. Engineered an ingestion using Python. Okay. Heterogeneous formats by Top K, hot dog. And hot dog time. I don't know what this is, but this is not what anybody would want for a full stack software engineer. If you noticed, I said AI tools are the extra credit. You cannot fill your resume with extra credit. Now, I said repeatedly that this had too many hot dogs. What I mean by that is I want you to imagine that you are hungry and you go to a restaurant. You make your order and you order a cheeseburger with pickles. And that's it. You just want a cheeseburger with pickles. It's weird of you to just order a cheeseburger with pickles, but whatever, it is your money. You get to decide what you want to eat. We will all judge you weirdly off in the corner. So the waiter comes back from your cheeseburger with pickles, and they put down in front of you a hot dog with cheese and pickles. And they say, here is your hamburger. And you go, excuse me, this is incorrect. I wanted a cheeseburger with pickles. This is a hot dog with cheese and pickles. Can you please give me what I would like? And the waiter says, no, this is what you wanted because a hot dog has meat just like a hamburger. A hot dog has buns like a hamburger. A hot dog can have cheese and pickles just like a hamburger. So when you said hamburger, what you really meant was this hot dog. You would walk away without paying because that's not what you ordered. And that is the exact same problem that this resume has. Developed a multimodal semantic search engine in Linux environment using C++, leveraging vector VFS and disk-and for embedded generation and graph traversal, improving query latency by 40%. That is not this. That is a hot dog. And if you're going for entry role positions, they only want... if you're going for any positions, it has to be this stuff. This is the only stuff that matters. Now, you may be saying, Lee, what are you talking about? Every single thing that you asked for is here. What are you talking about? This is exactly what you're asking for. Why are you saying they don't have it? Well, because earlier I mentioned that I am not looking for keywords, I'm looking for qualifications. And a qualification is a keyword, which is what the hiring team needs, which is one of these, right? The hiring team needs TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. That would be a keyword. But it's a qualification is a keyword plus how you used it, plus the non-technical reason you used it, plus where you used it. And since a skills section does not show where you used it, does not show how you use it, and does not show the non-technical reason that you used it, then it does not count as a qualification, and the hiring manager does not want to see it. The recruiter that submits a bunch of resumes that only have skills section is a recruiter that gets chewed out by their manager for doing a bad job. So thus, that doesn't count. Also, you do not need a summary for this. I understand your entry level, but you don't need to put this. The only reason you'd want to put the entry level is if you are relocating. Sorry, the only reason you put a summary is if you are relocating, need a non-H-1B OPT visa, because you have to explain that, or switching industries. And by switching industries, I don't mean going from full stack to front end or front end to back end. I mean going from a full stack software engineer to a basket weaver. So that is the only reasons you'd want the summary. And again, this is not it. So the problem is this entire thing is wasteful. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Python good. Python's good, but you didn't tell me the non-technical reasons, so it doesn't count. This doesn't count, 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 this doesn't count. So that entire experience is irrelevant. Developed real-time telemetry systems. Okay, that's what you did. That's okay. In Python, good. I don't care about PyQt5. That doesn't matter. To aggregate for blah, 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 doesn't count, doesn't count, doesn't count, doesn't count, doesn't count, doesn't count. None of these count. You already mentioned Python earlier in the same job. You don't need to mention it again. Doesn't count, doesn't count, doesn't count. So cool. This is entirely wasted. The only thing I know for this full stack dev is that you used Python, which is not 75% of these. That's a qualification, but it's not all of them. So this is why you're getting rejected as an entry-level person. In fact, even as a non-entry-level person, is you're filling your resume with a bunch of the stuff that does not matter. And I'm not saying it's not impressive, but again, it doesn't matter. Like, if it's not this, it does not matter. Nothing else matters but hamburgers. And if you fill your resume with hot dogs, you will fail, which is what this person is doing. So you also need to switch your formatting. This is the best formatting you can use. This is how to do it. It's on my website. The link is in the description below. But formatting is only 30% of your grade. If you use this formatting with these bullet points, you'd still get nothing. The bullet points are the most important thing in your entire resume, and yours are terrible. So I need you to make those fixes so that you can get a job, because right now every single person would reject you because there's nothing in this resume. It is completely blank. So that's all I can do for this resume. Before we go to the next one, I just want to say thank you to my members who support me. They get access to these videos a little bit early. You can do so in the link below. That's how to join. Thank you very much for supporting me. I really appreciate it. And if you ever need any more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/@headlessheadhunter and right here on YouTube. That is where I review these resumes, and that is where I can get these keywords and I can give people other job search help. But yeah, that is it for this one. Let's go to the next resume, and please fix your resume because I don't like rejecting people. I think that is a very common misconception. People think recruiters are sitting here laughing at you when we reject you. No. You know what I think when I reject somebody? I think, darn, I really wish I could have moved them forward because it would have made my job easier as well. That's what we think. So please fix your resume, make it look like this so that we could fill these roles and move on to the next one and you can get employed. Next resume. This is another full stack software engineer. Again, I would say data analyst and full stack engineers are the most common resumes that are submitted to me. So that's why they're almost everywhere. But again, I do non-tech stuff. So what do we need for a full stack? That is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, RESTful APIs. You know, the same thing. It's what we needed last time. So this person said they are a recent graduate. I want a career in application security, but I want to get by to know the back end first. I'm working for some security search at the moment. I want to have a good baseline of where my resume stands to use it as a template. On my real resume, my application has links to my applications. Okay, good. So formatting looks pretty solid, but let's see what we have for qualifications. So 20 seconds on the clock. And yeah, this starts a little later than it should, but that's not the biggest deal. All right, and go. Okay, degree, good. Built a tool that looks at information ever look on. Okay. Use Node.js back in creation. This needs more. RESTful API just kind of recon. Again, it needs more. Container Docker to VPN. This is entirely hot dogs, maybe Docker. Written in JavaScript to keep one full stack language context. Has 1 and get a 1 and built at time. So this is why my formatting works, is you're able to read longer. That's the entire point of the formatting. Like, y'all, I know this looks ugly. Like, that's a feature. That's not a bug. That's a feature. It's very, very easy to read. And I was able to get down to here. Now, is this a bad resume? Is this a good resume? It's not a great resume, but it's not gonna take them a terrible long time to finish. So first off, remember, if you graduate in the last 2 years, put the month you graduated in the year, right? We want to make sure we see the month. It's good to have. So you can just put like June 2026 or April whatever 2026. So and then down here, and don't put the slashes. Commas. Put commas, not slashes. It's very difficult to read with all the commas. Put a slash. Ha! My migraine is destroying me right now. Sorry, y'all. Which is why my advice is all over the place. I get migraines a lot. It happens. And honestly, if your resume is good enough to get past a recruiter that is suffering from a large migraine, or has gotten no sleep, or their dog or child kept them up all night, or they're sick, well, then it's a good resume. So this needs to have commas, right? Commas, not slashes. And I'd rather you just put this up here and say, used JavaScript, HTML, CSS, Node.js, and MySQL to build a tool that looks up information about websites without ever visiting them, to allow researchers to learn about a target without being detected. So that's solid. And then we go down here, and again, these are not the worst sentences. The problem is each sentence needs a minimum of 3 keywords. A maximum of 6, a minimum of 3, and this only has 1, which is a Node.js. This only has 1, which is RESTful API. This has 1.5, because Docker could count. This has 1, which is JavaScript, but you already mentioned JavaScript up there. So how this works is mentioning the let me show this one, because I always get questions about this. So mentioning JavaScript up here, good. Mentioning JavaScript down here, bad. Mentioning JavaScript here, good. Mentioning JavaScript here, bad. Oh, that too much. So it's the same keyword should not be repeated in the same job or project. Sometimes you are forced to, but the general rule of thumb is you do not want to repeat what you've already said in the same job. So while JavaScript here is good and here is good, repeating it down here and here is not. And that is kind of my problem with it, is this is really like 2.5 to 3 bullet points maximum, and you split it off into 6. So just 2 to 3 bullet points for this. Normally you want 3 bullet points minimum, but some projects are just not going to have that, and that's okay. Then we go down here, and I like the first sentence, right? Built a desktop weather app. I don't care about Electron. I don't think that's actually something anybody cares about. Using JavaScript, HTML, CSS that sits in your window bar and tells you with custom GIFs on the weather. That's good. So what am I missing here is I'm actually missing the backend. Node.js does not count as the backend. I understand it may be the backend, but they are going to be looking for a Python or C#.NET or Java. They're really going to be looking for another backend. They also want TypeScript typically for this stuff, and I do not see it, which is not great. So you have most of the other stuff, but I am missing cloud, a backend, and TypeScript. So you need to have those, and you need to shrink these jobs, because these are very long bullet points for only one thing. And then otherwise, though, you have the how to write them. You've got the what, the how, and the reason or result. You just need more whats. So that's all I can do for this one. Next resume. This is a resume of a blockchain engineer. You can ignore the full stack. This is this is blockchain. They said their resume is okay-ish. They said it got 3 online assessments and 1 interview for out of 100 and 130 applications. Well, A, that's not enough application to decide. B, I'd really only do interviews. Online assessments can kind of sometimes be automated, so I'd prefer it to be just interviews. But there's some stuff about this that probably at least works. So what do we need for a blockchain engineer? We need Python or any other language, although I will say preferably Python. It seemed most of them wanted Python, and then Go or Golang was maybe the second one. SQL, Cloud, RESTful APIs or REST APIs, Git, CI/CD, decentralized applications, DApps, Web3, and other blockchain stuff. And those are the main things that we're looking for. So let's see. I should be able to find some of that, but not all of that. So 20 seconds is on the clock. And go. This doesn't count. Degree does, though. Architected, good. On blockchain, critical ownership, DOA infrastructure. I want a little bit more in this. Led a team of 7. I need more. Design high-load backends using... Okay, this doesn't count. But Go, PostgreSQL counts. That does count. Blockchain does. And time. Yeah, this is... I mean, I just need more. I need more. Like, where's the cloud? I think I did see RESTful API, right? No, I didn't. Where's the RESTful API or REST API? I did find Git? No, where's the Git? Where's the CI/CD? Where's the Python or the Go? You said you're a Go developer. I don't even see any Go in this. Actually, yeah, I don't see any single Go in this. Where is the Golang? The Gulang? The Ga? I don't know how to pronounce it. Golang. All the way down here. Yeah, that's way too far down. Like, you need to put the primary language in here, and you were only there for 4 or 5 months. This should be 3 bullet points maximum. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. This one might matter, but again, I need the actual things I'm looking for. The only thing that I found were Go and PostgreSQL and a little bit of blockchain. I need the rest of this stuff. Founded, you recruited co-founders to scare analytics. This means nothing. You're not here to be a recruiter. You're here to be a software engineer. How is this relevant? Build and scale projects using timescale architecture. Okay, good. This doesn't count, and ClickHouse doesn't count. I will say, again, I am a U.S.-based recruiter. I have to judge this as if this was in the U.S. But my advice does work outside the U.S. as well. I've gotten people jobs in Canada, Mexico, the U.K., Africa, the EU, and I believe Singapore as well, and India. So my advice is international. But yeah, I need more. Led back-end engineering and smart... I see, this is the actual first really good sentence, and I just need more. I need more. I need you to describe what you did, how you did it better. I need more of these things that I actually want, and I need a little bit less hot dogs, because there's still a lot of hot dogs. Like, you have what I need, but it's so hard to find that most people would give up by the time they reach for it. So that's kind of all I can do for this one. It really just needs better bullet points. It needs these... And I need you to get rid of the hot dogs and more hamburgers. Next resume. This is a resume of a software engineer intern. They said, you have reviewed my resume before, so I've made changes based on your feedback. I've already secured an internship for the summer with a 1:40 ratio. Good. So now I'm looking for fall internship. Hopefully this version is better. So let's find out. I think this is an Android-based one. So I don't have all the Android ones off the top of my head. I know like MVVM, Jetpack, Dagger, and Hilt are good for Android. But what we need for an intern is degree, basic knowledge of the tech stack, ability to work well with others, and take direction and criticism. Can we find it? Well, let's find out. So 20 seconds on the clock. And whoopsies, I messed up. There we go. Nope. There we go. All right. 20 seconds on the clock. And go. Okay, good, correct. Okay, good. Worked with a team of students to build a native Android fitness application using Java and Android Studios. Good. I'd like a little bit more. Used Git and GitHub to manage code changes across the team, vision weekly agile stand-ups to receive and implement feedback from teammates and professors. Perfect. Used AI-assisted tools such as Cloud Codex to debugging testing. Used SQL to database and store. This is good. Honestly, you've nailed the direction of criticism. You've nailed the ability to work well with others. I'd prefer you to give me a little bit more tech. I want you to just kind of shove it in here, you know, like worked with a team of students to build an Android app using more than Java and Android Studios. And again, I don't necessarily need all of this either, right? That allows users to, you could actually pick one of these, like log workouts or receive personalized coaching recommendations. So you could even just put receive coaching recommendations to shrink that up a little bit. But I want a little bit more. I would like SQL. I see you have it down here, but you could probably put it up to here. So put SQL up there. If you have cloud, put it. I'd prefer cloud. I'd prefer maybe some object-oriented programming up there, but otherwise that's pretty good. This would probably pass. I just want just a smidge more, you know. Codex alongside JUnit and Mockito. Again, I don't know if Mockito is useful or JUnit. This might be Android specific. I don't have it. Let me look. Do I have the Android ones off the top of my head? Android developer. So if we're looking for Android developer, I would prefer Kotlin, Android SDK, MVVM, my chair, MVI, Git, UI, Jetpack Composed, RESTful APIs, Hilt Dagger, and that stuff. So I think you might not have some of the right keywords for this, and I'd prefer you to use some of the others. But beyond that, you wrote it correctly. You just need to make sure you have the right things they're looking for. So, yeah, otherwise, good job. Again, I think this would probably pass. I'm just worried that they're not going to see SQL. They're not going to see the other stuff I mentioned. They're not going to see, like, RESTful APIs or cloud. So if we could get in RESTful APIs and cloud and maybe object-oriented programming, I think you're going to be fine. Next resume. This is a resume of an embedded systems / software engineer. They're basically the same thing. What we need is degree, C and Python, TCP/IP, real-time operating systems, RTOS, agile microcontrollers, ISO, debug systems, the type of industry and what you're working on. So like aerospace engines or train brakes, right? I need to know both the industry and what the product is you're working on in that industry. And then nice to have is SPUART, I2C network protocol standards, DHCP, IPv4, IPv6, GitHub, GitLab, Docker, and Bitbucket. This person has gotten a 1 in 50, so again, that's not the worst. Although for embedded software engineers, you should probably get more. Honestly, embedded software is just such a hot market that if you're getting a 1 in 50, your resume is probably a little off. I don't know if this is their newer version or not, but at least their old one was 1 in 50. So, 20 seconds on the clock. Let's see what I can find and go. Okay, degree, good. Developed an open source RTOS. You need to tell me real-time operating system using C++. Good. And AVAR and Linux. Hot dog. Implemented non-blocking microcontrollers, memory management, and hot dog. Used UART during OOP. I don't think I need OOP. With interrupted IRS to blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah to blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. And time. This is too technical and doesn't have most of the stuff I'd want. When you say RTOS, you have to say real-time operating systems, parentheses, RTOS. Because it's possible the person reading this does not know that RTOS stands for that. And then I need more, right? The C++ is good. This is one where as long as it's C, it's fine. Problem is the rest of this is irrelevant, and you did not tell me... Maybe microcontrollers could be good, but you didn't tell me what you did. All you said is developed an open source RTOS for Arduino. Cool. What's that? I don't know. You didn't tell me. Implemented blah 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 memory of resource. Cool. That's a technical reason. I need to know the non-technical reason you did it. What was the point of this? Also, was this a project or was this a job? I do want to say I messed up. The projects and work history section should be separate. I need to fix this. It should be work history that includes internships, and then it should be projects down here. That is something that I messed up on, and I'm sorry for that. I need to fix it, but I want to make a note of that. Then developed a UART, good, using OOP, I don't really care about that, and interrupted blah, blah, blah to reduce power consumption. Maybe reduce power consumption is a non-technical reason. No, it's not, because what was the point of reducing power consumption? I'm not asking why you reduced power consumption. I'm asking what was the business reasons that you reduced power consumption? Was it to save the company money? Was it so that the users don't get shocked? I don't know. Manage the full software lifecycle using SDLC and Git. Good. No, Git is fine. CMake, don't care. So again, this has nothing. Like, you need to be razor focused on this, and you need to tell me the non-technical reason. The fact that you have RTOS, microcontroller, C++, SLDC, and SDC, and Git is probably why you're getting interviews in the first place, and you have I2C at the bottom. But I need you to be very specific with this stuff, and I need you to be very clear and basic in these sentences, because especially for a role like this, you can overload it with tech, and the person reading it is going to go slack jog and decline you because they're going to miss it. Is that fair? No, not at all. But unfortunately, if the world was fair, recruiters would not need jobs in the first place, because our job is to fix broken hiring processes. And right now, this needs to be fixed. So that's all I can do for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you all just joining me. And if you ever need more help, you can just join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/@headlestheadhunter and right here on YouTube. And to my members who get access to my videos a little bit early, thank you very much for supporting me. I really do appreciate it. I'm a small channel, and your support means a lot. But that is it for me right now, and I will see you all in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search. Later.